Poison haha.
Yeah. Yo, show you. I've been making videos.
Vides.
Yeah,
Cool.
show you.
Tutorials too?
Kind of. I don't know, I'm focusing on, like, relearning software. So, it's not really...
Tricks to kill boss easy.
Oh. Just use gravity potions. Where are we? Documents. Oh. Premiere Pro.
H. O.
Alright, this is my video. EX. Challenge everything.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
See this thing here? It is just so ridiculously overpowered and broken. Alright, so here's me shooting them up there. Now you can literally look at that map. Now that is the distance, right? So let's have a gaze. And these things hurt, man. Like, you know, that's big damage. 2 shots, you're dead. 2 shots, you're dead. Right? And you've got these coming at ya, like full on hardcore. Like, well, I'm pretty okay at the game, and man, I struggle sometimes. Like, they get me because there's just so many of them, and they all do like 450 damage. And not only that, once you reach a certain amount of them, they start going invisible, and the frames, the actual sprites of the stars disappear. But the hitboxes don't. Like, I've just been, you know, cruising along, and it's been like
LOL, wow.
and knocked me down to say that health, and I'm like, what the hell? And then dead. And I've been like, wow, I didn't even see that, man. Like, obviously, when I first figured that out, I thrashed it, because, you know, you definitely want to find out what all the strengths and weaknesses are of a weapon. Well, that is if you want to play with what the developers are giving you anyway. I don't really like the servers that people have got running, because there is just too much stuff that is banned. And like, I can understand banning Star Wrath, like, because it's just retarded. It is OP. I've actually even considered banning it myself, but I still haven't, because I think that, you know, a game should be played to its maximum with all of its right, you know, tech and stuff like that. There's got to be a way around it, but it is just ridiculously overpowered. Like, you know, prism move out of the way, like nothing compares to it. Like sniper rifle, absolutely nothing. And you know, I can sit under here and just be like, pew pew pew. If anyone just walks past there, they're dead. Like, look at that range. And it costs 0 mana, 0 ammunition, it's fast as hell, invisible, like, it is just broken. You know what I mean? It's literally as broken as this Terrarium. But the only difference is you can see the Terrarium, and it looks pretty. Doesn't that just look pretty? Looks even prettier with confetti. Who doesn't like confetti?
Well, he's fairly intelligent. Ah, he's full of shit.
Dinf haha. Mute.
Oh, well, that's my first video back to editing, I guess. I'll make a video every day. Get that skill back up.
Cool. Do more.
Yeah, I will. Like, I did actually do one prior to that as well, but it was just like irrelevant.
Every day will kill you.
Nah. They're not that time consuming. It's about an hour. And like the more you do, the faster you get, you know?
Can we put Luddies in the videos? Sometime.
Yeah. Do a Ludi video here and there. Like I kind of get scared because I don't want to get banned. That is my only...
Anime lewd girl lewd face.
Yeah. I'm actually drawing one right now that's fucking pretty lewd.
Ha 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 ha.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Wait.
I'm on it.
Alright, so this is this video, like, I kind of did this yesterday, like, because, Kyle that I live with, he's got, like, gel blasters, so he's, like, going and, like, you know, gel blasting, he's, like, like, shooting each other and, like these setups, like, fake army stuff, and, I was like, oh, that's boss, let me make a video of it, like, and I don't know, I kind of, like, got way carried away and, like, made this, like, weird mix of nothing, but kind of hell got me back into wanting to edit.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Keep him coming. No problem. Real tough guy. No problem. That was left-handed.
Ha 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 ha. Muted again.
What is that? Mute? Mute. How does it? I don't understand. Oh, anyway. I suppose we should keep practicing. Like, I played Terraria all the way up to dying to the end boss. Again, and I was just like, I think I'm done for a bit. I basically killed him. I just failed at the very end. That's good enough. Like, I've killed him 100 billion times before. I don't really have anything to prove. And I do need to get better at Street Fighter.
2C.
Like, I'll keep playing Terraria, but I'll probably switch back to Street Fighter solidly for a bit. What is this? Do you like this new Ryu? I don't. Does he get like special abilities or is it just a costume?
Cut.
Like, I don't know.
You are currently ranked in the top 100,000.
Don't want this
The
skin.
world.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
Round one. Fight.
The ability to be more present in the match.
How? Nakimuchi.
Round two. Fight.
Side Q.
You win.
So, what does this costume give him? Like, why is he like special?
Round one. Fight.
500 FM extra battle, you get it.
Lucky.
Round two. Fight. You win.
Remington.
Ha ha hey ha 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 ha.
um.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but
You know what is funny?
sometimes I do. But what? What's funny?
Signing Mario Bros music in random moment.
Yeah. Like, fucking, what is it? That, wait. Turn the music off again. The underground, the underground. That a sick rap.
Let me see it in YouTube.
I'm in the first grade.
I don't know if this.
Then you give it a test.
https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals uskmspiten how. This one. And then explode sound.
It's like old school drum and bass.
This is Mad Dog music.
It's pretty Mad Dog. Like, what a bunch of like pioneers created like a gaming system, the games, the sound, graphics. Like they did it all, eh?
This game only was possible because of someone who drew very weird stuff.
Well, no. Have you seen the Have you seen the history? Hold on. I don't feel like playing Street Fighter. Eh? Just gonna do a fucking do like a QXC or whatever. Just like watch shit. We'll become the new Pokemon. Just sit there and watch other people's content.
Street Fighter super boring at the moment.
It's just so hectic, like grind. My back's sore, man. I'm sick of grinding. I need to like ungrind. You're like watching crap and talking about said crap. Just chatting. Gotta love that, just chatting. Alright, now we're legitimately allowed to watch other people's content. It's so dodgy. Alright. Wait, have you seen, there's a UFO in Philadelphia or whatever. Yeah, here.
Authorities say they don't know what they are, but there appears to be a growing problem of unidentified objects flying through the sky.
All across America in 2019, civilians and military personnel were witnessing bizarre craft. In Texas, 13 reported sightings of flying discs. In Florida, 27 fireballs. 40 sightings of floating triangles over California.
Ha! What the is that, homie?
But in North Carolina, there were over 50 sightings of something else. Glowing orbs.
This shit's crazy.
Well, howdy there, Sean. Good to see you.
Oh yeah, you too, man. What a gorgeous day.
Yeah, this is beautiful, man.
Imagine,
was meeting with a former Marine.
imagine just like looking up and being like, what the fuck, that is definitely not from here.
Who wants to be known simply as Sean. In his over 10 years of military service, he never saw anything like.
Well, that's the thing as well, like, you know,
XD.
we had all these, like, it used to be all the fucking crazy people were like, UFOs, but now, like, now it's all, like, fucking government and military and, like, you know, top brass. That's, like, the crazy thing.
What he witnessed one night off the Carolina coast.
So, Sean, I know a little bit about your background, but do you mind giving me just a brief picture of your life in the military?
Yeah, I joined the Marines in '91. I became a reconnaissance Marine in '96. It's a Marine.
See that guy there? This guy here is ex-CIA. So he actually did most of the studies of like unidentified aerial phenomena for the like CIA for fucking like 15 years.
Marine that's forward observer behind enemy lines, surveillance, information collection.
In September 2019, Sean was heading home after a fishing trip.
Coming in, and instead of going to the boat ramp, I just went on into Carolina Beach, kind of tooling around. It was a beautiful evening. I noticed an orb over my head. like not directly over, but maybe 150 feet in the air, kind of following me. I was traveling about 5 knots. Like, oh, okay, somebody's got a drone. And the first thought, I was like, oh, I couldn't hear it, and obviously my motor's super quiet. So if a drone was buzzing, 150 feet, I'd be able to hear it. It was a round, circular orb, reddish orange, and it had a haze glow around it. It wasn't sharp edges at all. Man, maybe 5 feet in diameter.
So it had a color to it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Orangish red.
So I took note of it, because, I'm a reconnaissance Marine as well, so I stop, look, listen, smell, the basic instincts will follow me forever.
He's a fucking reconnaissance Marine. Like, he literally, his whole entire life has been scoping shit out.
I felt it was following me. I was traveling about 5 knots, 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's deliberate.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if it's starting to go in front of you or behind you, then you said it matched your speed.
Yeah. That thing took off faster than anything I've ever seen. And like it traveled as fast as, a tracer round.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Thousands of feet per second.
Yeah.
Even bullets, when they break the sound barrier, they have that crack, that miniature
There was
sonic
no
boom.
sound, yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Absolutely no sound at all. Or thrust.
Right.
Like power thrust or something.
Sean is a trained observer. He's just wired differently. He sees this really weird, strange light. The way he described this object really fell neatly within several of those observables.
Elizondo immediately recognizes 2 of the 5 observables: instantaneous acceleration and hypersonic velocity.
Instantaneous acceleration, because he said within a blink of an eye, it went from a hover directly over his boat to disappearing over the horizon. And of course, hypersonic velocity. He actually used the term a tracer bullet, just taking off, but without any type of trail.
I didn't think anything of it until it left. The whole question is, what did I see?
Is it possible that these things have a very rational explanation, i.e. flares?
Every flare I've launched has a trail, and it left. Flares come, they don't go.
You don't expect a flare to simply hover. It falls with gravity because it abides by the laws of physics, and flares don't just take off at breakneck speeds in one direction and disappear.
That is not
Ha ha reindeer.
what I wanted to show you. But it was interesting. Where is it? So this is like Pentagon released footage.
Cool place.
Cool place. It's crazy, eh? Like, I don't understand. There's one dude that I reckon has nailed this on the head. What's his name? Wow, learn how to spell. Still couldn't spell it properly. The real shit you gotta fucking hell dig. What's his name? Grant.
I didn't really pay that much attention. What happened with Tom DeLonge is he comes forward. There's WikiLeaks. That confirms the fact that he's got these high-level government people talking to him. And when I see the story, and then I see I didn't really pay that much attention until I saw the story with the WikiLeaks, because I got involved in the WikiLeaks because of Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was going to disclose. Hillary Clinton's campaign manager was John.
Blink-182 lead singer Tom DeLonge.
What happens is they leak whoever leaks John Podesta's emails, and here's discussion of Hillary Clinton wanting to be interviewed, being upset that she doesn't get on the Kimmel show, that he doesn't ask her the question.
Blah blah blah.
The government contacts someone. And
blah
the
blah blah.
have been done.
So basically, what this guy says, right, is he says that the government keeps like leaking this information out. Like,
Sash, can you play Tony Hawk 1+2 someday? Or you don't like it?
Yeah, I'll play Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk's cool. Wow. All of this stuff's just been deleted, eh?
This government thing is hard to me to understand.
Yeah. I'm making it easier for you. Well. Tell me if you like this.
Coming up, a closer look at the recent activity from...
Wait, wrong one.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Now I saw that. I don't give a goddamn what anybody else says about it. I saw that.
Then it breaks into like 3 pieces and speeds across the runway.
That day changed my whole perspective on life. And it blew my mind. I knew there was more in this world and universe than anything imaginable.
This dude makes wicked videos, eh?
UFOs have seen a resurgence among the mainstream media.
Because he says he was abducted by aliens 45 years ago. Calvin Parker joins me now.
Since the New York Times and Washington Post published their first articles on the 2004 Nimitz encounter, they and the rest of the media have continued to publish articles relating to the topic, with most of the New York Times articles written collectively by Pentagon correspondent Helene Cooper, New York Times journalist Ralph Blumenthal, and UFO author and journalist for the Huffington Post Leslie Kean, all of whom are urging the world to take the phenomenon seriously. After the story hit, Blumenthal went on MSNBC to reveal that the Pentagon UAP program did not, contrary to what many claim, end in 2012.
It really has continued, we found out.
So what's been going on? And why have they not publicized the fact that it has continued?
Well, it's a controversial program.
Claiming the Pentagon program has attained materials from these objects and is currently studying their properties.
So they have made some progress.
What type of material?
They don't know. They're studying it, but it's some kind of compound that they don't recognize.
But if all this is actually true, how'd they get it? It's possible that we'll get some form of this answer soon.
Well, yeah, when I reflect upon what we've been able to accomplish, I sit here and kind of go, yay and hey.
It's likely the material
I
Blumenthal
like the
is
alien
referencing,
stuff.
among apparently many other forms
Yeah,
of
it's
material
cool.
from unrelated events, are currently being analyzed by To the Stars.
I only like good stuff though. I don't like chintzy fucking crap. Like, it's gotta be good.
And scaring people about Pentagon.
Academy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, this is like all military now. It's all like they've got it on fucking like radar. You know, they're tracking. Like, our technology is finally at a level where we can track these things. Like, you know, they're where we can see them now.
Benefit Corporation, whose team includes 5 insiders who were high up in the CIA, NSA, Lockheed Martin, and recently added Dr. Norm Kahn, whose experience in the CIA spans over 30 years.
Like, CIA, Skunk Works, like, this is like, these people built...
It's very interesting.
Like, they built the SR-71 Blackbird. Like, these guys are our best. Like, they're literally our best. And they're like, fucking, just listen.
All of whom participants in the newly founded Atom Research Project, which stands for Acquisition and Data Analysis of Materials.
We remain, cautiously optimistic, right? And we're going to leave no stone unturned. And so far, the stones that we have turned over, some have yielded some really pretty fantastic results.
But in the minds of many, this process of so-called disclosure from To the Stars has all but fizzled out.
There's a lot of people who are impatient for information, and rightfully so. I get it. We're human beings. We want our information. We want it now, and why are you holding back? But sometimes you have to let the right people in the right positions digest information, right? Sometimes you can't expect a 10-course meal to be digested all in one bite. It just can't happen.
We'll have to wait and see if they follow through with something substantial. I doubt the materials they have will turn out to be completely benign, given how foolish a move it would be to get everyone's hopes up, only to say months later, oops, it's nothing. That said, this is the same group who claimed this was a picture of a UFO, only for the public to find out later it was a balloon. It's highly unlikely the Atom Project will be revealing extraterrestrial materials, but rather metamaterials, which is still interesting if indeed they were found on an unknown vehicle. But it does lead to a much simpler terrestrial but still mysterious explanation of what humans created it and where. Since the New York Times article, Fox News appears to have dedicated more time than any other network to discussing this topic. They even spent time talking to a supposed abductee, Calvin Parker.
What were they in? Were they in some sort of spacecraft?
And why is Jesse so serious? Jesse Waters is arguably one of the most cynical media pundits out there, yet his composure here is strange. It's as if he's interviewing a Russian diplomat. That's weird. One would expect the opposite, as he must inwardly know that the questions he's having to ask sound absurd.
What did they do to you when they took you up in space, or wherever they took you?
Tucker Carlson is another example of a Fox News pundit who all of a sudden thinks we need to take UFOs seriously.
That's terrifying. So, I mean, these are aircraft unidentified that are operating in very close proximity to the U.S. military.
Treating those involved with To the Stars with sincerity and respect.
And the government isn't responding adequately, and I hope you keep sounding the alarm on this. I hope this tape goes everywhere. Thank you for your bravery. This just seems like a story that we should be covering much more than we do, and I hope you will come back.
That guy there was the Minister of the English Department of Defense.
You seem sober and believable, and I appreciate it.
Why, thank you very much, Tucker.
Thanks. Leslie, thank you for coming on. It's an honor to have you.
Thanks a lot, Tucker. I appreciate your interest in this.
Disclosure is the process where sections in the government coordinate with respected journalists, credentialed institutions, and the mainstream media to slowly unveil information they've kept secret about UFOs. Others call it confirmation, given how much they claim to already know regarding the phenomenon. So you could ask yourself, is it true of your experience that you've been seeing more connections lately between the topic of UFOs and respected journalists, credentialed institutions, and the mainstream media? This leads many to claim we're in the middle of disclosure, but I would like to add that the New York Times has consistently broken stories in the past that changed the public's perception of the world. It's not necessarily that some elite group of influencers are putting out disclosure, but that the environment for discussing UFOs has been made easier for those in the spotlight. But even if that's true, a pertinent question still exists. With it being almost a year later, why did the Pentagon do this at all? The public didn't have to know. Or did we? I continue to remain unconvinced.
Alright, the false flag hypothesis. The false flag hypothesis is the hypothesis that the US government is going to stage a UFO invasion. Sounds fucking out there, but that's what it is, alright? I'm just letting you know.
Of this speculation. Too often one prefers conspiracy over a more conventional explanation. It's true that false flags have happened in the past. The Gulf of Tonkin, Operation Northwoods, Project TP Ajax are all verified examples of government conspiracy, with the CIA being at the heart of every American false flag event. The theory goes that To the Stars is set up to create an us versus them threat narrative.
Threat identification program.
And that the reason we're seeing what appears to be UFO disclosure is because elite sections of the intelligence agencies are setting the stage for an orchestrated and fake alien invasion in order to pursue a particular agenda. They will use top secret technology, some of which they claim has been back engineered by ET craft, against the public. They then blame it on outside invaders and build from there. Jim Simivan is arguably the leader of To the Stars. He's also been a spy for the CIA for 25 years, with many claiming he's never actually stopped his clandestine operations.
I worked as a spy for 25 years in the CIA's clandestine service. Had a wonderful career there, enjoyed it very, very much. Was lucky enough to be a member of the Senior Intelligence Service. I currently consult with the intelligence community on a part-time basis.
That's pretty sketchy. These guys must be aware that they're stepping into a community of people who detest the intelligence agencies of the US. But the frivolity with which Jim Simivan admits to his long career as a spy makes him seem oblivious to this. Or maybe he does know the public would react skeptically to it. I don't know. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I trust these people. I've criticized them in the past, suggesting they could be operating as tools for disinformation. I'm saying the fake alien invasion narrative is grounded in nothing firm. One can be skeptical of To the Stars without buying into the false flag hypothesis. I also find myself in the middle of an online culture that gives the CIA far too much credit.
It's true.
Contrary to what most think, the CIA has not shown themselves to be very good at committing false flags without getting caught. Many also seem to conflate certain unethical CIA top-secret projects, like MKUltra mind control, with successful results. MKUltra was controversial, not because they were successfully brainwashing people, but because of its violations of human rights. The organization was participating in what could easily be called the torture of humans, even the molesting of children. It's terrifying, but it doesn't mean the CIA can control your thoughts. It means what they did was completely immoral, and for something that was never supposed to see the light of day and be top secret, we sure do know a lot about it. Although most records were destroyed in 1973 by order of CIA Director Richard Helms, more information is still coming forward, even this month, of the atrocious methods conducted by the CIA. Don't get me wrong, the CIA as an organization is sophisticated and clever, and I'm certainly not claiming they can't keep a secret well. I'm saying that I disagree with the deification of their influence and results. Just because they're sophisticated and intelligent doesn't mean they're mythological global puppet masters, unless you want to argue that they have committed false flags in secret and gotten away with it without being caught, and even done so recently, like the Las Vegas shooting, for instance. Well, I can't argue with that, as it's unfalsifiable. I can say, however, that if you just look at their track record, it's not irrational to see that in general, there are people who make all the same mistakes every other institution, secretive or otherwise, does. Is it really that difficult to grant that sometimes someone really does go crazy and shoot everyone? And imagine what it would take to pull off an alien invasion. I mean, where do I even begin? So I think it's relatively safe to say that if an event actually did happen where our world collided with what appeared to be aliens, it probably wasn't from Luis Elizondo, but something else.
That's the thing, man. Like, when you go past, like, all of this shit, like, and you actually have a look at the data, Like, we fucking don't know what this shit is, eh? Like, we just, like, not even our best minds, like, have any idea.
It surprises me how many still think this is a topic best left to the fringes of the internet and boomer UFO conferences. Two YouTubers whose content I enjoy, and two people whom I respect, Computing Forever and Armored Skeptic, focus only on taking down the low-hanging fruit, missing the forest from the trees. They take down simple fallacies, saying things like, just because it's a UFO doesn't mean it's an alien.
People will ask, well, Dave, if it's not a UFO, then what is it? What's your explanation? Well, I don't know for sure, but if you're going to substitute a lack of evidence with a God of the Gaps argument and say, if in doubt, aliens...
Which is a non-argument, because those who make it fail to understand that by making it, you're actually acknowledging the phenomenon, just not a particular explanation of said phenomenon. Of course, UFO does not mean alien. Dave admits he doesn't know for sure. Then strawmans an explanation I didn't make. All one has to grant is that occasionally we humans have seen objects in the sky and didn't know what it was. That's it. And one would have to lie to themselves or be delusional about the world not to grant that. UFOs are a continually reported thing, with the vast majority, upwards of 95% when scrutinized, being drones, flares, balloons, meteors, blimps, abnormal weather phenomena, and a host of other benign things. This is a fact. It's also a fact that the remaining 5% or so are true unknowns. It doesn't mean they're aliens.
Oh, that thing's
it means
moving.
they're true unknowns. This question assumes we humans are privy to a highway of activity, but to call UFO sightings rare is an understatement. These events are truly once in 100 lifetimes. There is no highway of activity, but rather a low number of isolated incidents, like the Phoenix Lights, where honest analysis and intense scrutiny and skepticism will push you away from the skeptical consensus.
This is
For
crazy.
instance, if a father tells me he saw a mile-wide, triangular-shaped craft glide silently over his home, I urge psychiatry. When his children and wife say they saw it too, I urge family therapy. When the neighbors across the street say they saw the same thing and describe it in the same way, I begin to wonder if they're trying to trick me and this is all an elaborate joke. When more families on the other side of town, then police officers, then school teachers, then pilots, then the governor say they too also saw a mile-wide V-shaped object glide silently over their homes, it's now on me to make a decision. Are tens of thousands of people suffering from a mass delusion? Or did they see a true unknown?
I was kind of in awe, really, you know.
How big?
Bigger than anything I've ever seen in the sky.
Like an aircraft carrier in the sky?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Is it really the skeptical take to dismiss all eyewitness accounts as mass delusion? When did being skeptical become synonymous with finding ordinary conclusions? Could it be possible that sometimes, paradoxically, the simplest explanation is the more perplexing one? Or I could say it like this: could it be possible that sometimes the simplest explanation is to say, I don't know what it was?
Everyone is walking around with a 4K 60 frame per second camera on their phone. If these so-called true unknowns exist, why aren't more people uploading crystal clear close-up images of these objects?
Phone cameras, especially as it pertains to low-light capability, are terrible. For instance, this is a video I took of a plane flying over my apartment at night on an iPhone set to 4K. As you can see, it looks terrible. If I claim this was a UFO, you might scoff and say, why are all these UFO videos filmed on a potato? I mean, we're all walking around with 4K cameras on our phones. Shouldn't we be getting an image of a flying saucer in HD? It sounds like people who make this argument are ignorant of the inadequacies present in our modern phone cameras. While it's true that phone cameras work better during the day, they still attain noise the very moment they begin to zoom. And once you're fully in zoom, trying to focus on an object that is miles away, which almost all UFOs are, given that they're UFOs, unsurprisingly makes them blurry and out of focus. So in the current year, when someone sees something unusual in the sky and they try and capture it on their new iPhone, they struggle to to make the image on their phones, especially at night, match what they're seeing with their eyes.
You can't see it on the camera, guys.
Goodness!
Wait, you can just.
What is it?
I don't know. I wish I could pick it up with
It's
my
going
camera.
back round again.
But Malfi, even if I grant you that phone cameras aren't the best at capturing objects that are far away, I'm still questioning why they're always so far away. Why doesn't a flying saucer land in the middle of Yankee Stadium during the last game of the World Series? This is evidence I would need.
Arguably, even that evidence would inspire a world of conspiracies, doubts, false flag theories, and ridicule. Most would also likely see the video as so completely incredible, they would think it was CGI. Video on its own is not the best evidence. It's when the video is combined with corroborating evidence, radar data, eyewitness testimony, electro-optical data, and government or civilian documentation of the event that it becomes impossible to ignore. But I'll grant you that, hypothetically, we would have all of that if a flying saucer landed in the middle of Yankee Stadium. But that hasn't happened, has it? Look at it like this. In the case of the Phoenix Lights that I just discussed, you're still stuck having to figure out if thousands of people from Arizona suffered a collective delusion or saw a true unknown. That dichotomy doesn't suddenly disappear just because you presented me with a hypothetical scenario. Also, this question, yet again, appears to assume an alien explanation. For skeptics, it boggles my mind that you're always the ones obsessed with aliens. It's almost like I have to tell you that UFOs could be terrestrial, top-secret craft built by foreign or domestic governments. So if that were the case, landing your top-secret craft in the middle of Yankee Stadium wouldn't make any sense.
But Malfi, you often speak of the validity of the UAP videos released from the Pentagon, but Armored Skeptic made a video debunking the gimbal footage taken in 2015. Do you find his analysis accurate?
A lot of Armored Skeptic's analysis was brilliant. He even conceded this.
Even though I have never personally seen a UFO in my life, I can't escape the certainty that something is happening in our skies that defies our knowledge of the universe.
He then falls back on the UFO doesn't mean it's alien.
I really want to believe that UFOs and aliens are real, but we have no reason to believe that this is alien.
I suppose I shouldn't be so hard on some who continue to make this non-argument. In the case of Armored Skeptic, his audience would likely crucify him if he didn't say this.
Well, the thing about this sort of like topic or discussion is like it's got a lot of like stigma. You know, people like you know, it's a weird discussion. Like people don't like it.
Given how much the alien explanation has taken hold of most who are fascinated.
Like, I fucking love it. Like if we're gonna like all die, I want alien invasion. I want to see, like, that'd be dope. Like, whoa.
This topic, but it's still low-hanging fruit, much like those who make anti-Jordan Peterson videos and focus solely on the cult of personality that surrounds him. That said, all in all, I think Armored Skeptic's videos on the topic were fantastic. It's his analysis of the gimbal footage, however, that we respectfully part ways.
If you track...
Hey, what's that? Holy shit, what?
the motion, the object basically takes a straight path. The FA-18 is the one that's changing direction. But what about the fact that the object rotates? Well, the rotation that we see is likely a result of the casing around the camera rotating. The infrared camera is mounted on a double gimbal system, allowing it to rotate and point in any direction. We see similar rotating heat signatures in other military videos.
This was a claim floating around the debunking community months
But I want to be dying by snoo snoo while the alien invasion.
Include that the video is also
What's snoo snoo? What is snoo snoo?
doing a kind of parallax effect, meaning that the clouds below combined
with alien
the
bunny
moving
dark-skinned
F-18
girl
that's on a left turn.
Ah,
gives the illusion
snoo.
Well,
moving from right to left when it's really just flying in a
in other words, you want to like bang them. But, well, if you're gonna come and invade, you might as well bring some pussy.
YouTube Futurama Death by Snoo Snoo.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's funny.
Oh, I'm fucking tired, eh?
You want die like last men visit Amazonia?
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
Yes!
Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
After lengthy femputations, I, Femputer, have decided the fate of the men. Femputer sentences them to death! By Snoo Snoo!
Yeah!
What are you, gay?
I see.
Leela, I'm through making fun of
XD.
women. Now I want them to help me.
Should we do something?
There's no hurry.
Yes, a little tighter. Tighter. Perhaps a hard spanking is in order. Too hard!
Men strange. You have them on your planet?
I'm afraid so.
What they for? Oh, you mean Snoo Snoo?
We hear tell men used for Snoo Snoo, but all we have go on are ancient legend and subscription to Cosmo.
Just FYI, I could be used for Snoo Snoo.
Silence! You want die like last men visit Amazonia?
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
Yes!
Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
After lengthy femputations, I, Femputer, have decided the fate of the men. Femputer sentences them to death! By Snoo Snoo!
Yeah!
What are you, gay?
So to be more dope.
Yeah.
Alien invasion plus this.
Me too, meatbag.
Goodbye, friends. I never thought I would die like this, but I'd always really hoped.
The Amazonians will be divided into 3 groups. The one called
Sonia.
Best end of the
will be
world.
snoo-snooed by the large women. He that is designated Fry will be snoo-snooed by the petite women. And Kif, as the most attractive male, will be snoo-snooed by the most beautiful women of Amazonia. Then the large women. Then the petite women. Then the large women again. Initiate Snoo Snoo.
Oh, baby. We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
LOL.
Snoo! Can't we just cuddle? No!
Best hentai.
Snoo Snoo. Alright. I think I'm gonna go to bed. Something early. Pretty tired.
Futurama was cool.
It was.
Okay.
I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know what.
Hey.
Maybe Terra. Yeah, I've got a loot I'll show you as well when I'm done. I'll send it to you.
Think about my idea of Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I'll get it, alright? Wait, how much is it? Is it on Steam? What is it on?
Oh, I think it is on EPC Shitstore.
This is it, eh? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was a sick game.
And we can listen old hardcore punk music. Very nostalgic.
Yeah, dope game.
I will not plea because it is 200 bucks here.
$200? Really? How much is it here?
But I will be happy if you play.
Can I even play it on?
I pre-tie unmotive to play anything.
There you go. $70. Wow. Pretty pricey. We'll try and get a... I'll see if I can get you a copy for cheap.
Don't watch Street Fighter these days, to be honest too.
Yeah. Nah, I feel ya. Got quite a few games, I guess.
So you plea and we chill on stream.
Yeah. We don't have to play, like, you know, I've been going hard lately, like trying to complete Terraria and become the best fucking this or that or whatever, but, you know, things have changed now. Not really, you know, too keen. Like, I think Street Fighter 6 is where it's going to be at.
I see.
Like, you know, do I really want to spend another 2,000 hours playing Terraria, like, non-stop? Not really.
Yeah, maybe we be more happy with SF6.
Have you seen Fighting Herds? That looks pretty. I've got heaps of games, eh? Well, not really, I guess. Heaps for me, I don't really play many.
Hee hee hee.
Have a look at.
Well, we kinda bored with games. We old.
Yeah. We are old. It's not the right one. Like I've been.
It's hard to get hyped again.
Well, I'm not really. I don't run on hype. You don't get anywhere if you just run on hype. Wow, I should install that again. Might play No Man's Sky. The $100 game. What was the last? Was it the last update?
There was a BMX game too. David Myra.
Yeah.
Was cool too.
There's a few cool games coming out this year. Next year. Like I wouldn't mind playing.
Yes.
Wouldn't mind playing like a I don't know. Wait, that's right. There's a new game coming out, and it's called Hytale. This looks fucking sick.
Hee hee hee. Cool.
Bet you didn't expect that. We're getting an upgrade. It's time for Minecraft and Terraria to die. Let's go.
XD. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Play this. Lol.
Fucking so cool, eh? It's not out yet.
Hey
Let's go.
Okay, then play this intiest of Tony Hawk. We'll be okay.
Yeah, as soon as it comes out, we're in. Now signed up for the beta, so as soon as it as soon as it's up, we're on.
This have more thing to do.
Yeah, how sick does it look? So this is as far as they've got. They've got 2 more sequences. Oh, sick. Built for competitive play. Like fucking L2 competitive play logic. Like, so sick. Complete control over camera position, game assets, basic mechanics. Like, you'll be able to like customize like the weapon, you know, fire rate and what they shoot, and it's gonna be so sick. Right, cinematic tools, edit everything, modeling tools, in-game scripting, like fucking yeah, bring it. Nah, I'm gonna have a short one today. We'll play some No Man's Sky or some Terraria tomorrow. We'll just keep an eye on this hightail. Peace out, Terry. Peace in the Middle East. Or the peace in the low or the southern west.